Slurped up, my G's. So I hope you're all doing wonderful. I had a lesson with a student recently, and it again inspired me for another video. Sometimes what happens when I have lessons, I notice, problems that people are having, like regularly, or multiple people might be having a similar problem, and then I think about how have I solved that problem in my production journey, which is still in progress and ongoing always. I'm not perfect. I haven't got everything nailed down. I also fall into the same exact traps that you guys do, like all the time. So this is an idea for finishing a song quicker, like completing songs, how to complete songs faster. If you've watched my channel for a while, if you're in my Discord, if you have had lessons with me, one of the main things I always advocate is just bounce it out and move on. I think this is actually the key, and I've thought of a really cool analogy that actually I think kind of makes a lot of sense, and it should help you finish tracks a lot better. So I want you to imagine that the whole process of having composing a song right from the beginning till the end is like a giant pyramid. Okay, so why it's important to visualize it as a pyramid, if you think of the audio files as sort of building blocks for the pyramid, and if you think of the final destination, the peak at the top, just the very pointy part on the top of the pyramid, that's your one final master, your one file. That's the file that you're going to submit to publishing, distribution, whatever. That's the finished file. That's the top of the pyramid. That's the master. Everything below and right at the bottom, those are all of your other files that make up the song. Okay, so your goal is to get from the bottom of the pyramid, where you've got many, many, many files, to get to that final destination where it's just one file. Okay, so logically it would make sense that along the way the pyramid gets narrower and narrower, is kind of where you're bouncing out groups of sounds into one, and you're getting closer and closer to the finish line where you've just got one file left. So you're kind of like reducing the amount of files that you have. You keep reducing the files until like the one file is like the finished everything in one file, And so this, if you kind of adopt this mindset, which I kind of have over the years without really knowing that I'm doing it, then I don't go from this place of having like 100 channels of audio to bouncing it out and it's finished. Realistically, I've got 100 channels of audio. I've got little layers here. I've got little convolution parts here. I've got, snare version 3 that only comes in on this bar. I've got like bass version 9 that you only hear once. I've got hundreds of or 100 or 150 sometimes channels, different audio files, bits and bobs, bits and pieces. That's the real bottom of the pyramid, But if I'm aiming towards that pyramid at the top, realistically, what I do is I'll always group, consolidate, bounce together. So I've got less files. Then we're sort of moving up the pyramid. We've got like less information to deal with, or everything's been, bounced into one file. And so, bless my student of mine, I won't name names to keep people's information private or whatever. But my G was really overly going in detail, thinking about, this little atmosphere part here. Do I need to pan that? This little reverb layer here, like, what do I need to do with that? Do I need to like bring the volume down on that? For these really, really micro details, in like one group of 10 to 15 atmosphere sounds. Okay, that is like bottom of the pyramid mindset. Okay, so things like that, like you got like 10 different atmosphere sounds, bits and pieces here and there. You're gonna have to bounce that all out into one file and climb up the pyramid, and then you've got atmospheres. Bosh, done. Loads of effects sounds. You could have loads of like, you could have loads of synths, loads of different versions of like this synth lead here, this synth lead there. 7 or 8 channels just for this one synth. Bounce that out. Synths, done. That's that file. The problem you're going to have is you're going to stay trapped in this prison always, and this is just my personal way how I have been able to finish tracks easier and escape that prison. It's I got to move up that pyramid. I got to make sacrifices. I've got to make cuts. I've got to consolidate 10 files into one file. I've got to do it again. I've got to just keep going and going and going until I get to the top, and I've got to make that executive decision and move forward. Otherwise, I'm going to stay at the bottom of the pyramid forever. So you've got to climb to the top. You've got to make executive cuts, executive decisions by just grouping and bouncing together. Normally, if you've done a fairly decent job, it's not the end of the world if you haven't bounced it out perfect. I never get everything perfect when I consolidate it together. It's just is it good enough? Yes. All right, let's move on because we've got to climb that pyramid. So get things bounced out, consolidated as you go up, and you'll get to that final master so much quicker and easier. I'm just working on a track now where I've just bounced out everything into 3 groups. I've got drums, bass, everything else. 3 files. I can do a couple of tweaks there. If there's a real problem in the file somewhere, even in this final part, I can go back and in a previous project I've saved and changed it. But realistically, that is the process. It's keep consolidating until you've got 3 stems left or something, and then, all right, we're ready to master the final track. I've done loads of mastering recently. I think people are getting really, really, I don't know if word's getting around, but I'm getting hit up for mastering quite a lot. If you guys ever want it, then you can just email me for that, and I'll send you the prices by email. But that's a side note. Basically, focus on that pyramid structure, and know that if you're staying at the bottom of the pyramid where you've got so many channels and files, you're only gonna slow down your process of getting that song finished. Okay? And if you can't make every single perfect decision on the way up the pyramid, it's fine. It's fine. Just get it to the top, get it finished, and the next time you do it, you'll be slightly more streamlined. You'll make slightly better decisions as you grow and grow as a music producer, as a musician, as an artist. You'll get even more perfect results every time. But don't let the perfectionism stop you from actually reaching that final goal. All right, my G's. I hope that was helpful for someone. Peace out, my G's. Much love. Have a great day. See you guys soon.